Welcome back to KRS Investment, where we make investment simple. It is absolutely a pleasure, guys, to be sharing my experience with you guys on a day-to-day basis. Again, for those of you that are subscribed to my channel, I appreciate it 110% and more. For those of you that are not yet subscribed, please look below, click on that subscribe button if you'd like to get updated when there are new contents that comes out. Now, guys, we're looking at Luminar Technology. If you guys recall back 2-3 months back, I created a video. I've been trading in Luminar since in November, December, post IPO. Now, we saw that Luminar make a huge run up. If we look back in the 6 months prior, we can see it crosses that $47 per share mark before it came back down in the low 22, 23. And then we see it breaks at $39 per share again. Now, since then, there have been a lot of buying opportunities because you have, okay, once it goes up, you have a huge sell off. And then once it comes down, we can see people start to buy shares. Then the price will tend to go up and down, up and down. You get the full extent of what I'm really explaining. That's why I tell you guys from day one. Now, the first trade I made in Luminar was in the early stage. Not much information was on the company yet, so it was more of a risk. But by the information came in with the partnership at the time with Intel was Lumen, and we understand the LiDAR technology is an option for future cars to be able to, in the smart car industry, of course. But if we look in the last 3 months, not only did Luminar lost its steam, we can see in the entire sector for the EV market and smart cars in general, heavily due to the OEM manufacturers start to pump up their demand and start to roll out their own. So definitely the market tend to cool off for a period. Now we could see in same likes of Tesla, we can see Workhorse, unfortunate with the contract situation. We can see Nikola and all the other companies. They have gone through a similar up and down market. Now, obviously, when the market is going up, it's very bullish. And then when the market is going down, we understand the bears want it to go down because either way, there are money to be made, guys. Think about it this way. If you bet high on this company at this point, then you could have made at least 300 to 400%. And if you're up here and you're thinking, you know what, I don't really trust this company, I'm gonna bet against it, right? If you short the stock, then definitely you would make a lot of money going down. Same goes for if you're down at $30 per share or if you're down at $22 per share, then you could say, you know what, I think it's gonna crosses back 35. You go long and then obviously crosses back up in the 39. So it goes back and forth the same way that we see most of the EV stock because the high volume of transaction. Now, if we look back specifically in the last month, if we look in the last month, we can see there was a downward spinal right here. We can see it was at one point in the 3840s. This was back in the early, I believe, the second week of February. We can see it slowly came down, and especially March 5th, March 3rd, March 5th, we saw the huge sell-off. We saw the stock prices really tumble down to its its all-time high in 6 months, approximately, right? So if we look back on the stock, it drops to as low as 1960. That's as low as it's gone since in the last 12 months, if we consider in the last 12 months of trading. Now, guys, this was buying opportunity. No, I let you guys know from day one to get in on this stock. I'm still holding because I made initially a huge sale. Right, initially I made a huge sale and my profit is still in the 22s. So when it drops below 22s at one point, yes, I feel away, but I still hold on to it. Now, keep in mind, guys, when it drops the original time to 22, I did pump back in a lot more on money into this stock, so I was able to sell when it crosses 39. Now, I still have my original shares in the bank still. I'm just holding on more of the profit in the stock. But as it came down, now, unfortunately for my situation, I bought it in the 27s, right? And I bought it in 25. And when it breaks at $20 per share, then I got some shares at $20.80. So I'm still holding on for the long run. I do think in the coming months that this stock will turn around. Important, something to think about as well, is that Luminar is actually one of the leader in automotive LiDAR hardware and software technology. So the company is here. I don't feel that the company will go away so fast. I think there's a lot of money in this space to be made. Now, keep in mind for March 18, March 18 is the date that we need to keep an eye on because the company will give an update and report on their financials for the fourth quarter and full year that's ending in December 2020. So keep an eye out, guys, for March 18 is the date that they will give a breakdown update. So there's, we will see the price start to rise. Now, keep in mind, because March 18 is approximately 8 days away, so we're looking at least and at 1 week, right? So next Thursday is March 18. So even though the price was down at 1960, it's not purely because of the company in general. We understand that the tech sector was down. So for anyone that got in the 1920s, 21, 22, or even 24 at this price right now, it's still a good price to hold this stock. If you're looking right now at $25 per share or at $24 per share, this is still a great buy for Luminar Technology. If you guys remember, this stock was one of the hottest stock in the sector. So, and the price it is right now is still a great buy. Now, as usual, guys, I cannot tell you guys to buy or sell. You have to understand your own financial situation. But in my point of view, I had shares from before and I still add shares. Now, listen, you don't have to add 1,000 shares. You know what I mean? You can add 10 shares, you can add 50, you can add 100, you can add 1,000. Now, obviously, everyone wants to add at least 1,000 or 500. But if you think about it, if you have $20,000, I mean, it's a big risk to put it in one stock, right? So, for anyone that have the cash, that's fine. If you're just starting out, then you know what I mean. If you could get 100 shares, it's still a good amount of money for you to start out, right? If you look at 100 shares right now, that's $2,500. Pretty sure by the next week or two, if not month, you can definitely gain at least 20% on that investment, right? This is a great buy for anyone that's going short term and for anyone that's going long term. Now, I'll leave it short right now because I want you guys to do some research to make sure that you like what you're investing in. Guys, listen, the more and the more research that you can do in any company, it will help you to really stick through the tough times, especially like the times that we saw in the last 2 weeks. If you're not invested in the stock that you're actually investing your money, you got to invest your time as well. So make sure you keep up to date with research. Now, we do know as well, since 2021 they have added two new board members. So guys, I highly encourage to do some research on the company's website. If you can look on, and there's a few sites out there. If you go to luminartech.com/quarterly review, it will give you a breakdown of the information that's coming. I will put that link in the video so you guys could definitely read what's going on. But until next time, guys, if you appreciate the content I'm putting out, please like, share, subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. If I've helped you some way, please show your love by subscribing, leave a comment so we can keep this community growing. But until next time, trade smart, buy low, sell high, keep it simple, and let's make some money for 2021 and beyond. Until next time, guys, peace out.